have come to realize that one moment in life doesn't have to define the other.
Yeah, true.
What do I mean by that? For example, I would be frustrated today, feeling like, the weight of the world is on my shoulders. And then the following day, I'm just happy, I'm living out life, things are happening and going very well. So I think that is part of what adulting for me is.
I think one of my friends once shared, the guys who stay alone, how do they cope with everything? Because you're talking to your superiors and stuff.
Most of the sex education we got wasn't even from our parents.
Yeah.
From them we got fear. We got the fear of,
let me not see you.
If you with that, if you get pregnant, then it's over for you.
Melvin, she on a roll from Nairobi streets, making hearts whole. Motivation.
Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. In case you're new, my name is Belinda Melvin and welcome on board. We're coming back to you with quite an interesting topic on matters adulting. I know there's a lot that is being said out there concerning adulting. Oh, adulting is a scam. Oh, adulting, I don't know what, blah, 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 blah. So we are here today to shed light on that and share from our own personal experience as far as adulting is concerned. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone. I have a lady who wears many hats. And today, we're coming back again with her. So allow me to introduce her and then we dive into the topic. Karibu. Me don't want to haribu. I'll just give you your chance to tell us.
Right. Thank you for having me again. By now, you've seen me several times on this particular channel, so I am not a guest. In Africa they say the second time, the third time. Ngeni siku ya kwanza, siku ya pili, ya tatu mwenyeji. Loosely translated, the first day, the second day you're a guest, the third day you are like the owner of the house. So, but it goes without saying that I'm super grateful for this opportunity to come to your channel. I do not take it for granted, and I'm super excited for the topic of today.
So adulthood, yes, it's the topic that you're going to discuss today. So I'd like to know, or rather to hear from you, when did you realize that Maggie is now an adult?
Oh my God. For those who don't know me, my name is Margaret Kimani. I am a journalist. I realized I didn't say it when I was introducing myself. My name is Margaret Kimani. I am a journalist, a voiceover artist. I am a content creator and many things. So when did I realize that I was an adult? Where am I?
Are you a baby?
No, I am not, but parts of me, a whole part of me still feels like a baby, like I'm a small girl. Especially when I go home to my mother's house, I am like, you know what, I'm just a little girl. But then again, I realized that now I am not full adult or an adult, when now I had to start thinking of my future. I had to start looking for a job. That is the first time. I had to start looking for a job or ways to make money. That is the first time. Then as I have continued on now, as they say now in science, you turn a certain age, then you're like, wow, it's now getting serious. It's now getting serious now. But I still feel like I am yet to get to that point where I say now, this is me I am a fully grown woman. I am a fully grown adult. But when it started dawning on me that I now have to take responsibility for my life, for my siblings, for my, that I can now be left to deal with things. When my mother now started saying, now you can deal with issues, you can deal with stuff. without even saying, you find yourself in situations where you have to step up. And that, for me, came in early, at a young age of like 23. Now ongoing, it's pretty young for but in Africa it's not young. That's when you realize, wow, things are getting serious. I don't know whether I've answered your question.
You have.
I have tried.
You really tried.
Yeah.
And I think also you saying that you started early.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing about firstborn daughters.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot to say.
Because with that one,
yeah,
with that one, you realize that you mature early.
Yes.
You have to take care of. I think me, if I'm to say that, when did I realize I was an adult? I think when I was in, now we call it grade 7, class 7.
Wow, that's pretty
Because
young.
you realize that sometimes maybe your parents are not there, and then they expect maybe when they're out, you take care of your younger ones. But the time that it actually hit me that now, Belinda, you're an adult, is when I joined campus.
Wow. I was about to say that.
Yeah, because now here, your parents are not there.
You're left in this world.
You are left alone.
Ha!
Now it's the time that you now start parenting yourself.
Sure.
You have to plan for everything.
Yeah.
You know, before, maybe your parents, they just come with the food stuff, and then maybe yours, it's just to prepare, which is not a big deal.
Yeah,
but
sure.
now you have to think, what am I going to take for breakfast? What am I going to take for lunch? What am I going to take for supper? Yani, it's like now you're parenting yourself.
Yeah.
That was when I realized that
You're
now
you're
my
an
parents are
adult.
not here.
Yeah.
Now it's me. It's up to me. The decisions that I make, my parents are not here to
baby you.
to baby me.
Yeah.
Now it's up to me to ensure that I do everything.
Yeah.
I make the right choices.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's.
I think also before we even dive further into the conversation, I think it's important for us to ask ourselves, what is adulthood? Because for many people it's different things.
Yeah.
Now, for you, you say taking responsibility as a firstborn daughter. Others would say making money, like myself. So, what is adulthood to you?
Adulthood.
Now the interviewer has become the interviewee. But that's the beauty of having a conversation. Yeah.
Adulthood to me.
Yeah.
I think like right now it has, before I thought maybe adulthood it's just like parenting myself. Of course, while I'm parenting myself, I'm depending on my parents for pocket money and stuff. But now after school, things actually like it took turns. Now you are here, you're seated, you're thinking, now I'm seated here. What am I going to do? Because your parents are there, you are the eldest, and now you're thinking you won't be like asking each and everything from them. So now you have to look for a job. You have to cater for your needs. And to some point also, as you earn something, you have also to ensure that your parents are okay.
Yeah.
So adulting to me is being in a position to take care of my bills, to take care of my parents, and also to just like, I don't know, to just like take care of me, parent myself in the best way I know how to do it.
Okay. So, okay, that's nice. That's wonderful. So I think for me, adulting, it's really hard to put a definition on it. It's very hard because it has so many dynamics. It has so many facets. And you realize that as I was thinking through this conversation, a lot of things came to my mind. Financial aspect. We have career. We have now becoming, more self-aware, blah, blah, blah. All those issues, they came flooding into my mind. But the one that really stood out for me was now that you are becoming your own person.
Yeah.
Even minus what your parent is asking of you, minus what the society is asking of you. You are becoming your own person with your own thoughts. You have to make decisions on your own. You have to, if it's a job, you have to make these big decisions. So that, I think, is part of what I would call adulting. Being able to take up responsibility for your life, and now saying, moving forward, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do. Without whether you do it scared, whether you are sure of it, but you have to do it. At the end of the day, you sit down and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. If it's a family, you're gonna be in that relationship. All those things. It's what for me comprises of adulting. And I'm on a journey. It's I'm not yet there. So I think we are all on a journey. Yeah.
So when you talk about responsibility, actually, when now we talk about adulthood or rather adulting, responsibility was one thing that actually shocked me completely. Because now here you find that you have to parent yourself. And sometimes it's not easy because there is a lot. There is a lot. I do not know about you, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So responsibility, actually paying the bills. Sometimes you feel like, why don't you just like enjoy your money, money and stuff? You're like, hey, you have to do 1, 2, 3, blah 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 blah. So taking responsibility was one thing that actually shocked me completely because I was like, right now I could be like at home, my mom, my dad, they're doing 1, 2, 3 for me. Now they are not here. I have to do it by myself. I have to I don't know. And you just like make a silliest decision. It's over for you. It affects you. Yeah, it affects you completely. You find that as you struggle also with life, and you feel like, today I don't have money for this. Again, with adulting, personally, to some point I used to fear even just going back to my parents and telling them, I'm stuck. I need help. True. With responsibility, that part,
that is,
it was the
I remember
part.
The first time I moved out. I moved out of my mom's house. I went to live with someone. Someone was hosting me. And now when the time came, I don't know whether this is the experience for everyone or just me. When the time came, I had always wished to live on my own. There's that thrill that you tell yourself, no, this is my house, but it was just a thought in my head. I hadn't fully thought about it or weighed the magnitude of what that would look like. So I moved out of that friend's house, and now I'm in my own house. Let me tell you, it was so scary. It was so scary. It was like the house is too small, but it's again too big. I'm like, who do I talk to? I'm on my own. Now it started dawning on me. I think that is the point where it dawned on me. And that was like, I think 2 years or 3 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, it's now happening. It's now happening. I cannot call anyone. Okay, I could call my friends, and I was telling them, oh my God, it's so scary. And they were telling me, but it's like that. The first 1 month or 2 months, you're like, oh my God, it's so scary living on your own, especially if you're straight from living with your mom, you have people to talk to. It's so scary.
Now it's you.
And
the house.
Let me tell you. Oh my God. And for those who didn't have the liberty of having a lot when you moved out, you definitely know. It is just you and the world. And maybe you start, for most of us, when we are starting out, maybe we don't have the liberty to start out with a lot. Maybe a mattress on the floor, or you're just starting. Because that's the reality. We can't pretend that we started from, getting everything. So it was wow.
But again, now if you say you had somebody who hosted you, I don't know what the experience was, because if I try to look at me moving out from being hosted and now starting afresh, it actually felt peaceful.
Wow.
Very peaceful. You don't have much, but again,
there's that. Peace. Of course, there's that. There's that aspect of peace. That this is now my house. I don't have to share things. How I left my bed, that's the way I'm going to find it. There's that part. I do not refute that fact. But that companionship, I think, having someone around you, I think we as human, we are meant to just be around each other. Yeah.
I think for me it was a bit different because come to think of it, I just felt happy.
Wow.
It didn't matter that I was alone for a very long period of time. Me, so long as I have my radio with me, I'm just okay. So I could talk because there was somebody, I think one of my friends once shared, the guys who stay alone, how do they cope with everything? Because you're coming, you're talking to your superiors and stuff. And I was telling them, I don't find it difficult because sometimes I'll just talk. I'll talk with Belinda, we'll laugh, and then we start saying, hey, yeah, you're funny.
Yeah. Oh.
So I think with me, because you'll find actually the point that you're saying, that somebody they're just there alone, they find it so boring because you miss family, maybe friends being around and stuff. But now you're just on your own. Reality now starts kicking.
Yes, that is the point.
Yeah.
Wow. What a journey. What a journey.
Yeah. Adulthood.
Yeah.
So what was that one thing that shocked you about adulting? Mine, it was responsibility.
Shocked. Okay. Not necessarily shocking. I think it was just a realization that now, oh my God, this is now happening. Oh my God. I think it's that now I have to make decisions on my own, that I can't rely on people, And again, I've gotten it. I think it's the realization that people out here are looking out for themselves. Let me tell you, when that dawned on me, so that happened after a series of things. So I moved into this new job, and I'm thinking, you know what, the person who organized it for me is looking out for the best of my interest. But at the end of the day, behind the picture, they're just looking out for themselves. That happened, and that shocked me. It actually shook me to the core. Then I moved out of that organization. It was my first time ever in a corporate job. I was doing something when I was at home. I was doing online jobs and all that. Yeah, online campaigns and all that. But now I decided to look for a corporate job. And when I moved from that first company, the friends I had made in that company, they didn't even call me. They didn't even text me. They did. Oh my God, I was on my own.
You were figuring out life on your own.
Yes. I had one friend particularly who was so helpful, but all the rest of them, even the person who I thought, had my back, I mean, I was so innocent. I was so naive. Not even innocent. I was so naive back then. So I think that was the point what shocked me most about adulting. That everyone out here, most people out here, is out here looking out for themselves. I think that was it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's not awesome. It's profound. Let me tell you, it was shocking. It's not awesome. Guys, do your finding like Annie.
So another thing also to add on what also like shook me kabisa bills. Actually, things are just changing.
Yeah.
I remember while growing up, there were no like nowadays when you are living on rentals, you hear you have to pay for the electricity, for
you
water.
have to pay for garbage.
Actually, what I knew we used to pay for while growing up was garbage and maybe the rent. While growing up, what I saw my parents paying.
I had never seen that before.
You have never seen that before?
You're paying for garbage?
It was
what
only
do you
garbage.
mean I'm paying for my trash? Oh my God.
Garbage alone. But now I'm coming back to Nairobi, and now here in Thika, I find that everything life is not like how it used to be back in the days. So from water, I have to pay for water. I have to pay for electricity. I have to pay for
Yes, house rent. And it's every month, guys. It's every month. Not once, every month.
And then leave alone that. You're thinking that you have done like everything. Now we have the SHA. We have the, I don't know what.
The shoe, NSSF.
We have
the government is coming for your little money.
We have the, what's remaining there?
Exactly.
Actually,
exactly. It's T for tough.
So paying bills actually, the bills.
That one of bills really shook you,
It really shook me. And sometimes I even miss my parents because how are they managing actually back in the days?
Yeah.
Catering for.
Like our parents, we have to salute them because now when you look at things, maybe you're 4 or even 3 of you or 5 of you, they're getting a salo of like 10 Gs or even less than 10 Gs. And you are in school, they're able to afford your school fees. Like for my mom, she was able to afford my fee. How she did it, I have no idea. I have no idea. And I'm going to come back to that point. Please hold that thought for me. How she navigated that with a salo of less than 10 Gs. Because back then she used to make less than that. But the economy wasn't as bad as now. But it was still as bad. The inflation was still there. How she managed to pay for my fees. I was never chased from school. I went to a private uni. And she was able to cater for all that.
And the way private uni,
even if you're there under government sponsorship, you still have to pay some money. So she would pay for my hostel, she would feed me, and all those things. And then you wonder, oh my God, how is she able to do all that? And I think now, before I go to my next point. So that one was, what was the question again?
I was actually talking about the bills.
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying, sometimes I miss my parents because how are they even
able to manage? Yeah.
Because like right now I can say like I have a lot of responsibility, but with them they had kids there. And then they ensured that, for us we are like nursery, almost.
Let me tell you, we've not even started. Okay, we've started, but we've not even gone through half of what they've been through. Imagine they have like 7 kids or 5. And families back then, they believe having 1 kid. Who are you kidding? So I think now when you talk of even adulting, I mean now circle back to what we were talking about, finances. Do you think that our parents helped shape how we make financial decisions, or influence, not even help? Did your parents maybe influence how now your view of money? How did they influence your view of money?
Wow, it's a nice one and very tricky also. So with my parents, I think growing up, I saw, even like right now I'm asking like how were they able to ensure that we had like everything. Come to think of it, I used to see my mom, even my dad, they were in chamas. Now you see, like not every cent that you get has to be spent, like all of it. So with them, what like I learned from them, and it actually, because I remember even in high school, you remember I said that I started like being an adult.
Yeah, way then.
Yeah. So I remember there were days back in high school, I would even save from the pocket money that they have given me. And I think it's a culture. Even like right now, I see my younger brother, who is now Form 4. You'll see sometimes is being given pocket money, and to some point, even my younger sister, they will come back with it when schools are closed. And now they're like, now reversing the roles. Now it's them now.
They're now helping.
Yeah, they're now helping. So I think all of us, we grew up seeing our parents doing that. And to some point when you're being given the pocket money, we were not like spending all. I remember when I was in Form 4, most of the revision materials, they didn't like reach out to my dad, buy for me this revision material. I actually used the money that they gave me as pocket money, saving little, and then as I go back home, we we see how we can patch things out.
I'm just here. hey, looking. So you were those people. Ay, oh my God. Because for me, okay, I grew up seeing my mom, watching my mom manage her little money in the best of ways. She wasn't extravagant in her spending. Okay, sometimes she made, poor decisions, but most of the time, she always ensured that our house was never locked, because also we were renting also. So she always paid her bills on time. On time. And she always ensured we had everything we wanted. Okay, it wasn't like everything, but what we needed, not wanted, what we needed. It means, if it means good type of clothes, she always, okay, we were comfortable. Yeah, we were comfortable growing up. But then again, for me, financial literacy did not come easy. Me, I wasn't those people at history who saved history, what. I would find myself in school without pocket money. Because if you're given, let's say, 500 or 1,000 shillings to take you through up until midterm or half term, hey, by the time it gets to half term, me, I don't have money. I'm calling my mom, please, I don't have money. Because I didn't, okay, I don't know. Financial literacy for me did not come. But that one did not stem from what I saw. Because if I was to follow what my mom was doing, then I should have been good. Yeah, and I think now part of adulting is knowing how to manage your money, manage your finances. I think that is the biggest, or the most, the trickiest, if there's such a word, the most tricky part of adulting is being able to budget
for your money.
Budget for your money. Because right now, okay, I got something, and part of what I'm doing today, even on my with my money, is influenced with what I saw my mom doing back then. She was like, usidharau pesa, even 5 bob is money. That 5 bob unadharau, that one is money. And she would budget, pay her bills on time. So for me, I know I have never gotten to a point where now, my house is being locked. I always want to ensure that my bills, the important bills, they are well taken care of. You don't like a fare to come to work, all that. So there's a way to ensure that, okay, it has come with a lot of you flop a lot along the way. You find yourself, you've overspent your money. Now you don't have money. You're borrowing from people. Yeah, but I think, and that is why we keep saying, whatever you see, even at home, influences your childhood, influences who you become. Yeah.
The aspect of budgeting is something. And again, I think it's one thing that I've really struggled with. And I think I once shared it here. Last day I was doing a video, what 2024 has taught me. And actually, me, I'm that one person whom you start saving, you're just okay. And then something pops up.
Yeah.
You're like, now your savings, they're coming in to save
to
you
cater.
now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a journey. It's a journey in terms of finances, because one thing that I learned, because you mentioned the aspect of your mother ensured that you had everything that you needed, meaning she was in a position to differentiate a need and a want.
Yeah.
Because that is important when it comes to budgeting. You need to know what is a need, what is a want. The wants, you can do away with them and you'll still be okay. But a need, you need it all the time.
Yeah.
So she understood that. I think she mastered that.
Yeah.
So that's why she ensured that you had
up to date.
Yeah.
Up to date. I see her. She's still doing it. It's not like she's retired or anything. She's still doing it. She's still winging it. Yeah, she's still winging it.
So between budgeting and time management, which one do you struggle with most?
Money, of course. Money, because
Same.
one time, at the beginning of the month, I will write down, I don't know how many pages I've written on my journal. You know what? This is the money I'm getting this month from this source, and all that. And then this is what I need. I even budget Each and every day, I'm going to be using, let's say, 100 shillings or 200 shillings. I budget, this is what I'll be getting, blah, 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 all those things. Let me tell you, I follow it for like 4 days. Then something comes up. I don't have this in my house. I hadn't budgeted for it. So it changes. Yeah, it changes. And I think that is what I struggle with.
Yeah,
money.
I also struggle
Once I
with
master
money.
discipline, financial discipline,
And it's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're very intentional with it, but along the way, you don't know what normally happens. You just find yourself like...
You want to balance between... part of adulting is being able to balance between wanting to live your youth, for example. We are young right now. Then number 2, wanting to, grow or invest somewhere, and wanting to now build yourself. There is that struggle. And especially for us who are in corporate, but maybe we are not getting money from maybe other streams, I think it's very hard. It's not easy. It's a struggle.
Because I heard you mentioning something to deal with whatever that you mastered from your mom. So you were even saying that you ensure that there's no point you're not going to be locked out because you haven't And now you took me years back. Because now you find that you're working and then maybe nothing is coming in. So even you just taking care of yourself. That's why I told you that one thing that I actually struggled with was even telling my parents, this is what I'm going through. You're working, but again, you're not being paid. So meaning you can't be in a position to take good care of yourself. Yeah. So when you mentioned the aspect of how it actually dawned on me, there was a time that I was...
Oh my God.
You just took me back there because, there was a time. There was a time
it was, by the way, when I started out, when I started living on my own, I struggled to an extent where now my mom was the one supporting me, was the one. Now the 200 shillings that I was sending to her, she's now sending it back to me.
It reached to that point, even my parents were doing the same.
What?
They were doing the same. And then maybe if you want to send them something, they're telling you, for us, we are okay. Are you okay personally? Are you doing okay? Can you
I think
look for a way you can cater for yourself?
The myths and the misconceptions that we have about adulting is that you have to have it all together.
And it's
never that way. So for those who are now on the blink of adulting, or you are already there, and you're thinking, I have to have it all together, imagine you don't. You don't have to have it together. Yes.
So what's that one thing that actually you thought as a kid, you thought that it was easy, and now as an adult you realize that, hey, it's not easy.
First of all, when I was young, at this particular point, the age I'm in, I'm supposed to be having my dream job. I'm supposed to be working in a very big media station, supposed to be a good actress. Our producer is saying the Lulu. Yes, I was the Lulu, but the Lulu is good.
So Lulu.
Yes. The Lulu is good. You can dream big. So I was dreaming big. So sahi nafaa kuwa somewhere. I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to be starting my journey of marriage, because I had put for myself, at this particular age, I want to be married. I want to be in a very good job. All those things. But now, as I have come to realize, I'm not in a hurry. I am not in a hurry. There's no hurry.
There's no hurry in Africa.
Yes. Yes. I always wanted to have a family while growing up, but I was priding myself, or I was actually, what is it called? I'm forgetting the name. Okay, it's a simple word, or sometimes our brains. I was admiring, yes, that's the word. I was admiring people with the family. Like, a girl. I think it's what I saw I grew up in the village before transitioning to the city. And I would see people get married. Even my uncles bring people, girls home, and they start, a family, and all of a sudden they're having a baby, and people are going to hold their baby. In our culture, when a woman gets a baby, you're going to visit them. You're going to gushogia mwana. Gushogia mwana is, like, what is it called? Just hold the baby. You're going to hold the baby. Yeah,
baby.
not to babysit. You're holding and rocking the baby.
You're holding and rocking the baby.
Yes, you're rocking the baby.
Tell us in the comments.
Tell us, how do you call it? Or in your country, because I know you have international audience. So do you ever do that? Do you ever go to people's houses, and now all the mamas are rocking the baby, and you're singing welcoming the baby into the world? I used to admire that a lot. But now, as I have grown and known what I know today, it's now a fear. Please laugh accordingly.
I'm laughing because I'm just seeing me also.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that I wanted to say.
Yes.
Because we had dreams.
mpaka tulikuwa tunaimba was singing
Yeah.
along Pitson song.
Yes.
Siku moja mama
nitakujengea nyumba ya kifahari uishi poa mama. I think we are gonna put the song editor, when we are going to be editing, put that song there. Yes.
So I thought life was going to be that. And then again it's the same Pitson. We thought that when we reach like 22, you will have a big house, a big car, you have your family, you're doing... Ask us.
Wow.
Adulthood.
Adulting is something else. I think now reality catches up with you.
Yeah.
Because what you are expecting is not what you get. Because right now, back then, I think people didn't care a lot. Even when they were getting married, people, especially in the village, they didn't care a lot. Where I come from, they didn't care a lot about, I want to achieve dreams. I want to, they just used to do it. And now that I have become aware and been influenced by other things, I stepped out of my village. I went into the other areas of life, right? Now the influence is changed because now I am in an environment that tells me having a baby when you haven't planned for it will only be very detrimental for you, because what will that child eat? You have to think of, you have to give them a good life. You have to give them a good life. Back then, I think people just didn't used to care much, or they didn't fear much. They just used to do it because
when a child
yes,
comes, come with their
or
plate.
they used to follow norms. I think it's about following norms. They used to follow a lot of norms, like when you get to a certain age. For example, for where I come from, you have to after school, for example, you have to now come. You have to bring home a girl. You have to now start a family. And that's it. You become a unit. You become a unit. So, but for me, now for us, this generation, we are defying those odds. We are defying those norms. Now, I want to ask myself, why am I doing it? Why am I getting married to you? Why do I have to have kids? Why do I have to, why? What is the reason? Why don't I chase my dreams? Why do I have to be the one, as a woman, I am the one who is sitting back at home? Why? So there's that one. All those dynamics are changing now, how adulthood today is being viewed and how I view it personally. So, hey, it's not easy. It's not. Honestly, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
I know. It's not easy. And that's why we keep on saying, hey, adulthood is a scam. What we thought.
Yes, versus now the reality.
The reality. We have
The
the expectations
reality.
from this,
Yes.
and then the reality. And now the reality normally hits hard.
Yeah.
It hits hard. What you thought?
Versus, yeah. Can I ask?
That's what you're getting.
Did, for example, the relationship that your parents had, or has it influenced the way now you view relationship today, or what has been your take around the issue of relationship now looking back as an adult, all that?
First of all, I
Yeah.
think it's 20. I think it's last year. No, not last year. 2023. I had actually like shifted now from shags because after school I got my first job, but still in my neighboring county, so back in shags. But now I shifted back to Nairobi. So I was just here, and if there's that one thing that I actually dreamed of was seeing my mom walk down the aisle together with my dad.
Oh.
So they were there because we are like, hey, now they're married, but no, the marriage had not been officiated.
Okay.
Yeah,
They just did the
so,
traditional one?
There was not even the traditional one.
It was, you know,
It was
come,
we stay.
we stay.
Mhm.
So in
And
Africa,
then
we
they
have that.
stayed,
Yes. They
and then
stayed.
they
Now it was too late to go back home.
yeah, it was too late because kids are involved and they have to
Yeah.
to do this thing called
Yeah.
marriage
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So 2023, now they decided to walk down the aisle, and I was like, hey, see, they're paved way for us.
Yes.
Yeah. So to
Wow.
them, when I saw them, even in their age, because they were 50s, I think 50s, in their
Wow.
50s, it's when they're walking down the aisle
Yeah.
with us there. But we are not, I wasn't in a position to see them walk down the aisle, but at least
yeah.
I was so happy for them because I remember that moment when I called my dad and my mom telling them congratulations, if there's one thing that I told them, thank you for paving way for us.
Oh my God.
So,
That's so beautiful.
in as much as like right now I'm not like married, but it's something that I'm
You
looking
look forward
to
to.
it because it's a beautiful thing. It's not like a bed of roses, I know, because I've seen, even with them, I can't say that their marriage was
Has been perfect,
because
yeah.
I saw the ugly side and I saw also the good,
good
side.
side.
But I'm not choosing to look at the ugly side.
Wow.
I'm choosing to look at the beautiful side of it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward.
I'm glad that we can have diverse thoughts on the same, because for me, I first of all, when I started my life, I found myself in the hands of my grandparents.
Okay.
And they were together. They were like my mom and dad. But I knew my mom was somewhere. So I was aware. I was aware because I was left with them. She had to go work, right? And then now I had to join her. I had to join her later on in life. And she was now in a relationship then. Yeah, she was in another relationship. So, again, our director, is there a problem? Oh, you're doing this. Every sign is a signal. Where? Okay, let me take it. Oh, okay, sawa. So now I had to join my mom. After I joined her, now I saw her still take up responsibility for the family. I saw her being the bigger person in the family. So I can say that was a strong unit. Yeah. So for me, largely I haven't seen now that aspect of submission in a marriage, that beauty of, a man is coming, a woman is coming, or a man is coming from, or the husband is coming from work. There is, all that. You see the normal family setup. I didn't have the liberty to see that. The dynamics were a little bit different because my mom was like, you know what? If you're not supporting me enough, let me go fend for my kids.
Okay.
So me and my brother, it was just me and my brother then. So, and I saw it, I saw them split at some point. And I saw my mom choose her peace, choose us over, the unit, or the union. And that one has informed how I view relationship right now in both negative and positive ways. Positive in a manner that I cannot stand an abusive relationship. I cannot stand an abusive marriage or a toxic person. Someone who threatens you or something. I cannot stand abuse. I can see BS from afar and be able to walk away because she was able to do that, right? And that one is positive. I have now the thought of you don't have to depend on a man, right? If she had just stayed there and said, you know what, even if you're not giving us enough, let me just, and start complaining and start crying. No, she did not do that. She was like, no, I'm not staying here. I'm going to look for money for my kids, right? And now, negatively, and I'm not saying that I am focusing on the negative. It just found itself through to me. It caught up with me. And now, whenever there is an inconvenience, I'm walking away. Regardless, I don't think I'm ready now to sit and just talk through things. Okay, I'm working on it. It's something I'm working on. But I've found in my relationships, whenever I felt like, you know what? This one is not for me. I just walk away. And that is why, again, maybe I'm afraid to fully now commit because of what I have seen. Because of what I have seen happen through my life. But then again, I can't deny the fact that there have been meaningful relationships around me, because I have my grandparents to look up to, my uncles, my aunties. They've been in very good marriages, So, and they've stayed for years, even till date. So it's a I think for me it's a cross. What do we call it? I'm at a crossroad. Crossroad. I'm at a crossroad because now I am. There's this path. I can do it on my own. I've got this because my mom paved way for me that way, and now this other way, I can actually become a submissive woman. I can actually become, a good wife or something. So that is also part of adulting.
And I saw when our parents were actually parenting us, I think most of the conversations that were meant to be given by my mom, we were given most by our dad.
Wow.
So part of it was like she really, really, really championed for us ladies to ensure that at least we have good education. And then you understand fathers with their daughters, they're so insecure about I don't know.
Absolutely everything, especially
everything. The
boys
guys around. So my dad was that one person who could not want to see you around any boy at that particular time. And now you see the shift. She was like, I don't want to see you guys like getting teenage pregnancies, because right now I'm not working, because remember we had shifted. Now the work, it's over, we're headed back to Shags, we are starting afresh from there. In the city, we were used to like being catered for everything that we wanted. Now
at what age did you move?
At 13, when I was 13.
Oh, okay.
I think the youngest was 1 year back then. So you see now the dynamics there they have changed. Now we are from the soft life now to the hardship that are there. So when sitting us down, she used to tell us, Belinda, I don't want you to come here with your pregnancy here. You're telling her, I don't have job. Your mom is not even working. And for my dad, he can't do this heavy work because 1 year back, he was involved in a very terrible accident that almost took his life. So he's here, he can't do heavy work like going to the shamba. So it was us and our mom who ensure that whenever we are home, we have to take our mom to the shamba. That one was
non-negotiable.
There was no negotiating or what. We had to, because now it's just my mom. You see, so she used to tell us, I don't want like you getting pregnant and then I have like nothing to assist you. I'll just give you my trouser, you go split and then you use them as napkins if that's what you want. So he used to say it like that. So when you grow up, I think growing up we had to take that responsibility. And then he was like, now the point that you were saying, for her he was like, when you go and you find a man in the near future, I don't want that man to mistreat you because we didn't take good care of you.
Exactly.
So I'm giving you this education so that you can be in a position to stand for yourself.
Wow.
You don't have to be a housewife. You see? So get your money. You don't have to depend on a man to get certain things. You can do it by yourself. And if you see that the marriage is toxic, you're free to walk out of that. And now I get whatever that you're saying, because he used to like tell us each and every evening, whenever we'll sit, we're done with supper. He'll just start a story.
Wow.
And then he encourages you, matters education, what you're supposed to do. Yeah, so the point that you're saying, actually, it has also like took me years back what he used to say. Yeah.
And I think most of our parents, they used to fear girls getting pregnant.
Yeah, and you know that particular time, the cases were so high.
Exactly. I don't know what was
so
it.
high. Because in rural areas.
Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you find that someone memaliza Form 4, or they're done with their...
Not even Form 4. We used to see others even in Class 7, Class 6.
Oh, my. Okay. Wow. Okay, it used to be very scary.
And from
when
where
I thought about it, young or teenage pregnancy was one thing that really scared me. It was really, really, really scared me. And I think most of the sex education we got wasn't even from our parents.
Yeah.
From them, we got fear. We got the fear of...
Let me not see you
if you
with that.
If you get pregnant, then it's over for you. It's over for you. Yeah, and from now, we had to rely on other sources to give us sex education. But I think it would have been so better. It would have been better if we had it from them. If we had it from them, because again.
And I really loved how our parents were being brought up back in the days, because I used to hear that back in the days, boys were being given session with their grandfathers. They would just have a session where they're being told how to become boys, how to become a woman. So you're being taught maybe for the ladies with their aunties and grandmas. But nowadays it's not there.
Yeah, we've left the work to the teachers to now.
If the teachers are not doing enough, then... So, Maggie, let me ask now.
Yes.
Still on adulthood, as we're winding it up, have you ever looked at a kid, or rather a child, and then you're like, wow, what's a life? Because you're not there. Just admiring a kid. Have you ever admired?
Of course. Each and every day. Children are here on these apps, flaunting their lives, and I can't help but want to go back in time and experience. Even my brothers, my younger brothers, there are things they got to experience that I never got to experience, and at some point you feel so jealous of them, or you feel some type of way. Not even jealous, you feel some type of way.
I also feel that.
Maybe they're going to better schools. Maybe how their parents are treating them now is different from the way they treated you. Maybe life is so much fairer to them than it was to you. And I can't help but even, feel some type of way. Like, now I want to go back and experience those things. Like, some things our parents get kept from us. Or they were trying to tell us, don't do this, don't watch this. Now they are allowing our younger siblings to do the same. And I can't help but wonder. But then again...
Me, I normally say there were mistakes that we used to make, and then we'll be beaten mercilessly. And now I look at...
I will give us an example.
Let me tell you, there was this one time... We were warned not to go and play with other kids like down. So you were supposed to, when you're playing, you see in these story buildings, you just play in the balcony. Don't go down. So our parents are not there. So we decided
to go downstairs.
We went, we played. So where I was, I didn't even notice my dad was coming back home. So he caught me unaware. So me, I'm busy playing and I'm even shouting. So I was pinched when I'm turning and I'm like, huyo ni nani huyo ananichuna? Turning and
it's your dad.
My dad. And then the minute I know, it's a slap. Before I even go and climb those stairs, a kick.
Hey,
and I'm like, yo,
what is going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
But right now, I look at my younger siblings
and how they're being treated.
And even you just try like beating our younger sister when she has made a mistake. My dad will be like, leave my child alone. And I'm like, when was I not your child growing up?
I think part of being an adult is one thing, as we even come to a close, is realizing that our parents were like us at some point. And when they started raising us, because they were young, they didn't know. They didn't know. And now for them also, they've gone through this life raising you, another kid, and now they've realized, it's done this way, it's supposed to be done this way. And that is why we are actually feeling like now we want to go back in time and meet the now parents that they are. Because back then they were just two people trying to become adults. Maybe life forced them. Because I don't think back in the days they used to plan for kids.
I think
most of us were as a product of, let's say, teenage love. Maybe ile ya kujaribu tu, we were just trying. Because for me, I know I was as a result of, that teenage love. Teenage love. Because I think my mom got me when she was like 19 or 18. I don't know. I don't remember very well. I'll do the math data. So, and she can comfortably tell me that she used to run away from home to go meet with my dad. And her dad was so strict. Let me tell you, my grandfather, may he so continue resting, was so strict. Let me tell you, he was so strict. And she managed to go and make me.
And look at you now.
And look at me now. Look at me now. And they were just trying to, to some extent, I can't blame her. Because she also was trying to navigate life. She didn't know any better. And now that I know that, and probably when I come to get my child, I'll have known. Because now the environment has allowed me to know. For her, the environment did not allow her to know. But now we are, as I said earlier, we are defying those odds. We are bringing kids into this world knowing that, you know what, I am bringing this child, this is what is going to happen, blah, 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 A, B, C, D. We are no longer doing it blind. Because I think they used to just walk in blind and do it blindly. Mtoto akikuja na sahani yake. Gone are those days. Gone are the days. Oh my days. Gone are the days when we used to just say, when a child comes, they come with their own set of blessings. You cannot ride on those beliefs. You have to, sit down and think through, unless it just happens. But then again, you have to take up responsibility. Exactly. If you know, for example, you don't want to become pregnant, then of course, you don't have to have, unprotected sex, or, you have to take responsibility. I think like what you started with, if you're an adult, what shocked you the most was taking responsibility. Not only financially, but even for your own life, in terms of relationship, in terms of romantic relationship, your sex life, everything, every facet of life, your spiritual life. And it means now choosing, because now, again, another aspect, oh my God, I think this is going to be, I don't know how long we've taken into this. Let's look at the time. Yeah, we are about to clock 1 hour in. So I think another thing that really has made me think that now you're becoming an adult is the realization that there are some things on this in this world that you cannot ride on the beliefs that were set by your parents. One of those things, or one of those aspects, is your spirituality, your religion. Because right now, you now are aware. You can now make the choice. You can listen to these things and try and weigh
the options.
So even as you're choosing, the spiritual path to take, yes, your parents maybe did you well by raising you Christian, but now it is your choice, your personal choice to choose. Do I want to continue serving the Lord? Do I want to become my own person? You can weigh so many things, the beliefs. Yes, you can sit down without being influenced by anyone and say, this is how I feel. I feel like I want to serve Christ. I feel like I want to, be with this type of people, this kind of church. This is what I want. So, and I think that is also something else. I have always been so, drawn to spirituality, and I realized I can't do without it. I cannot do without God. I cannot do without God or some form of spirituality. I cannot.
Speaking of God, I think we were sharing, most of the times when we are catching up with our parents, especially my dad, sometimes we'll just talk. Maybe there's something that needs attention.
Yeah.
And then we are talking and you're like, hey, so how are you going to do it? And then he's like, God saw us through when we were raising you. So he's definitely going to see you.
Yeah.
So, and when you talk about spirituality also, I saw him like, he used to tell us, Maggie, Belinda, go to church, but he wasn't going to church. But nowadays, now I'm seeing, is even like sometimes he'll just call, have you gone to church? Because to him, it was like, for you to be, and I think we all know, this life without God, it's just useless. You claim you know things, you claim you want to do it your way, but you realize that your way, it's not working.
Yeah.
And you just need God to give you the right direction to go. So
it doesn't even have to be church based. But I think there are things on this earth that happen in a manner that we can't explain.
True.
We might be planning to, plan how I'm gonna do my marriage, my finances, but I think there are other things or a higher power that influences the way we do things. And what we have to do, or what I have realized, is that I have to keep an open mind, because what you call spirituality to another person is something different.
Yeah.
And what you're calling, or who you are calling God, to another person, they don't believe. They don't believe. And we have to accommodate. We are living with those people.
Yeah. Actually, we have those who believe
yes.
God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they believe in other things. For example, I have a friend who is not a believer in anything. He's an atheist. He believes that the highest form of living is, being able to live out your life well, helping other people, living out your life the best way you can. The best way you can. You're not, hurting other people, you're helping other people, just living out fully. That is what he believes. That is what spirituality is to him. For me, I believe that Jesus Christ came, died for my sins, and blah, 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 blah. And now he was raised again from the, that. That is what I believe. I believe there's a God in heaven. He doesn't believe in heaven. But we have to accommodate. And it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make. Again, going back to now the choices, taking responsibility, because we can't go around judging people.
Yeah, sure. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
I remember, I don't remember, but Maya Angelou once said, if you know it, if you know better,
you do better.
You do better.
Yeah, sure.
If you know better, you do better.
You do
so
better.
With adulthood, I think the way you said, we are defying the odds. Now we know better,
and we are gonna do better.
Yeah, because with adulthood, there's no formula of adulthood.
There's no.
If you ask me,
honestly speaking, there's no.
Because it reached a point. Me, if you ask me how is life taking you, I just tell you I'm living one step at a time. One step at a time. So because there's no
formula.
Yeah, you are planning. They're not going the way
you wanted. Yeah, some days you're winging it. Some days, the days are beating you up and they are winging you. Let me tell you. But we live out. One thing I have come to realize, even as we come to a close, we keep saying that.
Now coming to a close, for
real. One thing I have come to realize, that one moment in life doesn't have to define the other.
Yeah, true.
What do I mean by that? For example, I would be frustrated today, feeling like, the weight of the world is on my shoulders. And then the following day, I'm just happy. I'm living out life. Things are happening and going very well. So I think that is part of what adulting for me is. Understanding that days are different. Yeah. Days are different. Seasons are different. People are different. There's so much to harness from the world. And if you focus on one thing or one particular road, then you're going to miss out on all the rest.
Yeah, sure. I agree with you on that, because I also know that in as much as we are living here on earth,
Yeah.
life it's not going to be straight.
True.
It's not going to be straight.
Yeah.
Some days you wake up, you're feeling you're high. Some days you wake up, you don't feel even talking to your neighbor. And it's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
You don't
okay.
have
It's
to
okay.
to force it.
Yeah, you don't have to force it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't have much to say. Is there anything that you're leaving out?
I have, but you know what?
Yeah,
In
we'll
the
keep
interest
on.
of time, we're gonna end the conversation there.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching till this very end. Please make sure you check Maggie Kimani out pale YouTube. She's on YouTube doing amazing content. So there's something also cooking from the other end. So make sure you go run there, type Maggie Kimani, subscribe to her channel, click the notification bell so that you will get notified on the videos that she would have already uploaded. I've been your host, Belinda Melvin, and until the next one, bye.
Belinda Melvin, she on a roll.